My name is Megan Rowe. I live in Charleston, South Carolina, and for 5 years I believed I was in a steady, unshakable relationship with a man named Lucas Miles. He worked in corporate logistics for a regional shipping company. He was driven, quiet, analytical, sometimes too much of each. But I loved him. I truly did. And for the most part, our life together was simple, predictable. Weeknight dinners, Sunday hikes, shared playlists, and half-finished home improvement projects. We didn't do drama, or so I thought. It all changed because of a phone call. It was a Thursday evening. Lucas was supposed to be at a company retreat in Asheville for 2 days, but around 8 p.m., I got a call from my friend Kara. "Hey, weird question," she said. "Is Lucas back early?" "No, he's out of town." "Why?" "I thought I saw him today, near East Bay Street, with someone." I laughed it off at first. "Maybe you saw someone else." "Maybe," she said, "but it looked like him, and whoever he was with, they looked close." That night, I stared at the ceiling for hours. Kara had no reason to lie, and something about the way Lucas had been acting lately, distracted, guarded, suddenly felt heavier. I started to notice everything: delayed replies, locked phone screens, calls taken outside. The doubt began to grow. When he returned, I didn't say anything right away. I observed, watched, waited. Then, 2 weeks later, it happened again. This time, I saw it with my own eyes. I was picking up lunch downtown when I spotted him through the cafe window. He was sitting with a woman, laughing, leaning in. Something about the way he was looking at her, too easy, too familiar, made my stomach twist. I walked away. That night, I didn't confront him. Instead, I withdrew. I let space form. I waited for him to explain himself. He didn't, but someone else noticed the change. His name was Tyler. He worked with Lucas. Same company, different department. I'd met him at a few office parties. He was the guy who always brought the jokes, always had a story. Loud but kind. We ran into each other at a mutual friend's backyard dinner, and he asked, "You okay?" I tried to shrug it off, but he said something that stopped me. "Lucas has been off lately. Thought maybe you noticed too." I paused. "What do you mean?" Tyler hesitated, then said, "Maybe I shouldn't say more. It's not my place." But in that moment, the floodgate opened. I told him everything. Not because I wanted to pull him in, but because I needed someone to say I wasn't imagining it. He listened, really listened, and then said, "You deserve to be seen, Meg. If someone isn't doing that, they're missing out." I smiled weakly. "Thanks." We started talking more after that. Mostly casual, coffee runs, random texts. But Tyler had a way of making me feel grounded. He never pried, never crossed a line, but he asked how I was, checked in. And in a time when I felt invisible at home, that meant something. One day I asked him, "Do you think Lucas is hiding something?" Tyler paused. "I think people can be careless with the ones they think will always be there." That hit deep. One evening, Lucas came home later than usual. I sat him down. "I saw you, with someone, a few weeks ago." He looked startled. "What?" "Downtown. You were with someone. You looked close." His face shifted, not with guilt, but confusion. "That was Vanessa. She's one of our new interns. I was mentoring her through a client pitch." "Was that all?" He looked straight at me. "Yes." "Meg, come on. I would never—" I wanted to believe him, but I had already let the doubt settle in, and I had already let someone else fill the silence. The truth unraveled slowly, not because Lucas had done anything wrong, but because I had built a wall too high to hear his truth. The more I distanced myself, the more Tyler became my emotional anchor. But here's the thing: when you seek comfort without clarity, you confuse kindness for connection. Tyler wasn't trying to replace anyone, but I let him get close, not physically, not romantically, but close enough to occupy a space that wasn't his to fill. And eventually, it backfired. Because one day, Tyler said something I didn't expect. "I care about you, Meg, and not just as a friend." I froze. "I know you're with Lucas," he added, "but it feels like you're not really with him anymore." He wasn't wrong, but I couldn't answer. So I left. I went home and told Lucas everything. Not to hurt him, not to confess, but to clear the fog. He listened, quietly, then said, "You thought I betrayed you, and that gave you permission to give up on us." It stung, because it was true. But then he added, "I should have noticed, should have been more present. We didn't fight. We talked. Deeply. Honestly. For hours. And it was the first time in months I felt like we were on the same side again. Rebuilding wasn't easy, but we chose to do it. Together." Lucas invited me into his world again, into his work, his frustrations, his goals. I shared the weight I'd been carrying, the fears I hadn't voiced, and over time, the walls came down. Tyler and I drifted apart. Not out of anger, just understanding. Some people come into your life to remind you what's missing, but they're not meant to stay. A year later, Lucas and I are stronger than we've ever been. We still have rough days, but now we face them together. And I've learned that trust isn't just about believing someone else. It's about not letting your fear speak louder than the truth.